Nice to meet you, everybody. I'm your host, Ian here. I am currently actually streaming this recording, and there's no one here, so it's super secret. And I hope you all are having a great day, because I've been having a pretty good one so far. Except for the fact that I've pooped 4 times today. 4! I must have ate something bad, because it's only 1 o'clock. I went to the gym though, got my workout in, everything, you know me, I'm super buff and everything like that. And all I wanted when I came back home was an omelet. But there was no cheese in the fridge. You know how bad I am at cooking, bro? I had to look up a tutorial on how to make an omelet. When I finally got there, no cheese, bro. But I don't want to waste any more time. This article's already pretty long, and I have a feeling I'm going to read all of it because it sounds very interesting. 55 kids, teens charged in Hershey Park opening day brawl as families shielded children hid under tables. I don't think I've ever even seen a fight this big. Not counting war, but including the internet and the real life. I've never seen a fight that includes 55 people. And I'm not sure what the term opening day means. I'm assuming it means brand new. And if that is so, then they just closed down the park, bro. On the first day, it hasn't even been 24 hours being open, and you already got into a massive mob fight. How do you even get that many people angry at each other? There cannot be a disagreement between teenagers that is that serious. Even though they're teenagers, you can't have that many people fighting, and not one person was like, yo, we should break this up. And normally, the fight doesn't start with 55 people. That means they probably got dragged in. That means every single one of those teenagers chose to fight instead of, I don't know, leaving, breaking it up, calling the police, anything. Nah, bro, they all decided, yo, let's just box, let's throw fisticuffs. Unless it was planned, which honestly could be feasible, but that would just mean out of nowhere. Peaceful one moment, the next moment, bam, 55 kids all fighting at the exact same time. That would have been crazy. It would have been like World War III, shot hurled around the world. Not hurled, I mean heard, but at the same time I might hurl because of, my stomach hurts so bad. Had to go and be a dad for a second. A dad to my baby RGs. You know, life is really hard being such an incredible person. And I just mated some Rexes, so let's hope that goes well. But let's continue with this article. Over 50 kids and teenagers have been charged for a massive brawl that broke out during Hershey Park's opening day, which forced families to shield their children and hide under tables. All I'm gonna say is that was definitely unnecessary. They're teenagers, bro, throwing hands with each other. It's not like a terrorist group just showed up at the Hershey Park. But what do you mean kids and teenagers? 13-year-olds are teenagers, so that means 12 years and under. That means those kids were involved in the fight too. Oh, it's hard to laugh. The ab workout was too much. But does that mean that there's a possibility that in this fight there was an 18-year-old fighting like an 8-year-old? 55 people, including 53 minors, whose ages range between 12 and 19, had been involved in multiple fights across the iconic Pennsylvania theme park on April 3rd. The Derry Township Police Department announced Monday. What do you mean 55 people but 53 were minors? Who is the 19-year-old that was in this fight? You cannot be 19. You're grown. You're an adult. And you're probably a dude just smacking on some children. Dude, you're going to jail. At your grown age of 19, you can own a house now if you wanted to, and you're still getting mad over teenagers' beef. There couldn't have been anything that invigorating in this fight. The mob was accused of both misdemeanor and felony offenses. Yeah, no, just a small misdemeanor, nothing like a huge, massive mob brawl. How did the police handle this though? Did they have to get 53 pairs of handcuffs? Did they have to get a police truck to load all the kids in and take them to jail? But I can't even lie, that sounds lit, bro. Eating some nice chocolate, going on amusement park rides, and then just throwing hands in the park. Like the music's going on around you, the crowd, the sun's beaming down. It feels like a legendary brawl. 25v25 fight. You don't even see those numbers in like laser tag arenas. Officials said 2 different groups, Group A and Group B, were caught on security footage arguing in one section of the park before the clash turned physical, blowing up into a full-out brawl just after 6:51 p.m., just over an hour before closing time. Group A and Group B are such lame names, dude. You gotta come up with something creative, like I don't know, the Cocoa Crawlers or something like that. The Dark Chocolate Knights. 6:51 is crazy though. This is like dinner time, bro. The sun is still up. It's not like ghetto hour. It's not like 2 a.m. here. You're fighting in like bro, it's probably golden hour at this time. You got kids body slamming each other on tables. You got some in chokeholds. You got some drenched in chocolate. You got some look like they just pooped their pants, but you can't tell if it's chocolate or diarrhea. At 6:51 p.m. There are places where church is still happening during that time. Police were called to help security break up the large fight near the family-friendly Trailblazer coaster. Yeah, bro, quote-unquote large fight. You don't say. I don't know, that's not that large to me, just 50 people. 50 people is enough to have like a whole wedding. And that sounds just awfully family friendly to me. So family friendly, in fact, that the families that are surrounding you cower in fear, hiding under tables, flipping tables like they're, I don't know, whatever bags they use in the wars. What did they even fill in those bags anyway? It can't be cement, unless it is cement and I'm just stupid. But like, the bags that they use to build like makeshift walls? Yeah, I always wonder what they put in those. The dueling groups were separated before meeting up again at a food court, forcing families to hide under tables and flee the area, Penn Live reported, citing court documents. Is he coming back? Round 2, fight. In the food court too, bro? That's like where the most holy spot is. That's where everybody loves to be. You can't be ruining people's food enjoyment time. Maybe they met up at the food court for like some extra nutrients, bro. They wanted that extra sustenance before the fight to get ready. I can just imagine how awesome that would be. You got kids, little kids picking up skillets, smacking each other in the face, jumping over tables, hurdling each other, throwing bags of fries everywhere. You got like a massive food fight in the food court of the Hershey Park. They were causing mass havoc, bro. But I still really want to know what was happening. Like, I want to know the argument behind this. Witness told the police the brawl included 50 to 60 teenagers. Bro, imagine a 60-person brawl. There's no way it was that many people, but like 30v30 flat. That would be insane. How do you even choose who would win in that fight? If there was 30 people on each side, bro, them dudes would have been pulling combos. I bet it was much lamer than what I'm thinking of though. Like, it's just teenagers fighting. In my mind, it's like the battle for Sparta. Everybody is in ironclad armor. You know, they have swords and everything they're drawing. They're all doing battle cries and running towards each other like Avengers Civil War. One of the fights had spilled over to near one of the roller coasters where at least a dozen youngsters grappled and punched each other as a large crowd gathered around them, filming the fracas next to the roller coaster tracks, according to a video posted online. I hope I pronounced that right. Fracas, I don't know. And I would have put the clip of the video in here, but unfortunately when I click it, there's no video. How much more terrifying of an experience would that be if you were on a roller coaster going 90 miles an hour down a track? You know, you're having a good time at Hershey Park. You're really scared because it's going so fast. And then you just see a bunch of dudes brawling on the ground next to where you have to land after the roller coaster's done. You're just gonna be stuck in the middle of it. The violent squabble forced park staff to shut down the coaster. Keep it running, bro, for the experience. If in case one of them wants to pull an Omni-Man, just grab a teenager's head, shove it down on the tracks, and let him get run over by the roller coaster, bro. And I wonder if all 53 people, or however many it was, decided to fight the second time. That would have been so funny. And that 19-year-old, bro, don't think I forgot about you. If you decided to get in the second fight, that 19-year-old, bro, you just deserve to be in jail at that point. These actions caused serious inconvenience to Hershey Park staff and patrons of the park. This caused an emergency stop to the Sky Rush ride, officer said in court records viewed by the outlet. I don't know, bro. Out of everything, the park goers and the staff might be the least of your concerns. You got like 9-year-olds beating each other up. You potentially have 2 adults beating on children right now, and this is what you're worried about. And if I was a park goer, I'd be hyped, bro. I don't even care. Like, that fight would have been so much more entertaining than probably any ride that they could have thrown at me. Some of the fighting teens had been kicked out by police at a side gate, but re-entered the park at a main gate and got into another fight around 7:30 p.m. How many fights, bro? I'm counting like 3 or 4 at this point. They're like branching off into mini fights too. Knowing teenagers is probably about like girls or whatever. It's not that serious. You gotta get into like 4 separate fights within an hour. The first fight was at 6:51, I'm pretty sure, right? The next fight that we were looking at just now is at 7:30. That's less than 40 minutes away. Or I think that is 40 minutes. And the balls to enter in the main gate, bro. What kind of security do they have at this park? How were these kids allowed back in the main entrance with probably the most security? After an investigation, officers filed charges for the disorderly and assaultive behavior by numerous youths that included simple assault, conspiracy, theft, failure to disperse, disorderly conduct, aggravated assault, and riot, among other charges, police said. I told you guys, I got a fast mouth. You can't compete, bro. I get all the other charges, but what happened with the theft, bro? So during this fight, some kid was just stealing a bunch of stuff. Like, that's probably the easiest time to steal. How did you get caught? Everybody's distracted looking at the 60 people fighting, and you managed to get caught stealing? Omar Ibrahim, 19, Jerome Ross III, 18, and Quanique Williams, 18, all from Harrisburg, PA, were publicly identified as the only 3 adults facing charges in the massive brawl, police said. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have been to this Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. But there was actually 3 adults. You guys are supposed to be the leaders, bro. You're supposed to be the role models. You guys just turned into adults and you already messed up in the easiest way possible. You're fighting with teenagers. All you have to do is just leave. You guys all have cars now, probably licenses and everything. You could just get in your car and leave, bro. It's not that hard. But instead, nah, let's just throw hands 5, 7 different times with different teenagers. I just turned into an adult. What should I do first? Should I talk to kids? Nah, that's too, That's too common nowadays. That's too basic. What about we beat kids instead? Yeah, that's where it's at. Williams has been charged with felony riot, assault, and failing to disperse, among other charges, according to a probable cause affidavit viewed by PennLive. Abraham and Ross were charged with theft after they allegedly took an admittance wristband from a minor and used it to enter the park. Bro, you're adults. You let the kid pay before you paid? Robbing a little kid of his trip to Hershey Park. Bro, that's so sad. But honestly, you might have saved him there, because if he was like one of the, I don't know, 100 kids at the Hershey Park, then he had a good chance of being in that brawl. How do you feel okay, like you're not sick in the head, after stealing a wristband from a little kid, splitting it between two people, getting in the park to have a good day, you know, even though you just stole from a child, and then deciding, let's get in a massive fight? The theft charge was for $90.80, the cost of a single day admission pass to the park, the outlet reported. The three men were charged through summonses and have not been arrested as of Tuesday night. Their first court appearances are set for July 7th. So I guess they're going to court in the future. That's why you don't hit kids, bro. That's why you don't put your hands on anybody in general. This happened months ago, though. This is June, and apparently the fights were in April. How are they like... How is this article only being posted just now? This is literally why they put curfews on stuff, because dumb kids like this stop me from being able to go to the mall past 3 p.m. But yeah, there's like a bunch left of this article, but there's not really much that's really interesting, so I'm gonna stop it here because we're already lengthening out this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you don't put your hands on kids, whether you're a kid yourself or an adult, especially if you're an adult. So, I hope all of you got at least some enjoyment or entertainment from this video. If at least one of you did, then that makes me so happy, because I did my job, and you know, I'm gonna do this all in one take. It's been amazing seeing you all, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Ian. Hope you all have a great day. I'm gonna go play some Ark. I'm recording this the day you're seeing this. It's actually 2:41 p.m. right now, so you're seeing this not long after I recorded it. I'll see all of you later. Watch for the streams because they might be showing up. Follow me anywhere you want at Pretty Ian. IL12 Discord in the description. Oh yeah, plug in everything. See you guys later. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. Love you guys. Bye 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 bye. See ya.